Good night to the world. You don't know, it's yours truly, George Redeem, and my co-host, Altia Marie, Laughing Turbo. You don't know. Look at the black frame glasses. Well, Reverend Fifi wearing black frame glasses too. Well, look for the gold here. Yes. Well, Reverend Fifi not wearing gold here. She wearing black hair too. Yes, at the levels. Look at the white teeth and how they line up. Having survived what she survived. You don't know, God is truly amazing and he is almighty. Tonight is another Thursday night at Topic Live to the world, and you don't know, this is where we discuss issues, real issues, to the point where people say them they are not a Christian, but that's all right. Yes, to the levels. It's not only Rona pandemic we talk about and have to deal with, but you have individuals having pandemics in their life. Yes, enough men having pandemics. Whole heap of women having pandemics. Dildo is some of them pandemics. False vagina is some of them pandemics. Yes, yes, yes. The men that want to kill us sing about because them are workless boy. Oh, liar, run fast and tell the girl, say him tired. Yes, our heap of pandemic are going in a people's life, and we are dealing with it. Tonight is part 2, and guess what? There must be a part 3. Because the professional says, oh my God, they got to be here next week, not this week. You don't know. The people them have had a commitment and other thing to do. And we can't bad them up and drape them up and themselves and put them aside. Yes, it's only leave Minister Fiona Grants Penites in the chair tonight because she reload the name. Whoopa Jesus, son name we never hear about. Yes, to the levels. Yes, to the levels, and she knows its functions, its operations, it does, it don'ts, it malfunctions. She knows everything about that. Yes, to the levels. Knowledge is the key. Yeah, and some of you don't really need a divorce, you know. You just need to get the builder out of the jar. Or the bullet, not a bullet from a gun, Minister Garden. We're not talking M16, Gatlin, or Desert Eagle, or Ruger 9, or Walter PPK, or Browning 9. We're not talking about none of that. You see the levels? Yes, it's a bullet that vibrates and make the ladies go wee. You see the levels? Yes. A lot of these pandemics that are happening and a lot of these battery men that is in the draw is there for a reason. It starts from somewhere. And the truth is, some of it is therapy and some of it is just addiction. You see the levels? Yes, and it a mash up enough life. Because none of the ladies expect the man to operate with battery of blood run through man. So when blood get hot and get cold, man have to revive. Yes, and then cause when man done in sleep, what else to do to revitalize and re-energize and you see the level. So tonight we are going to be talking about that in depth. Again, as I say, it's a broad scope, a broad scale. Tonight, Dr. Laurel Johnson sends her apology. She should have been here to talk about the benefits of masturbation. Yes, masturbation can use as a therapy and a benefit. Nobody go feel up on yourself and tell the Lord, say, it's therapy, you know. You see the levels? Yes. And I wanted her to talk to her. I wanted to talk to her about that gentleman who married and not get no sex for over 6 years and telling wife saying penis up on her hurting. And she called for olive oil and said like she anointed. I don't know. I would have probably slapped my wife out of my Bible a hard slap. Because don't tell me you're going to anoint my balls with olive oil when you should have just give me some sex. Oh, sorry. Whoops. Minister Fiona don't want to hear about balls. Sorry. Sorry. She only here to talk about dildos. Sorry. Yes. That's what the man wife said. The man telling wife say she Arnie and him are blue balls. Blue balls for some people who don't know because probably Minister God will probably think it's the color blue. It's when a man have an erection to the point of pain, where only thing that happen is a ejaculation, a come, a discharge. You see the levels of climax, right? So he got to his wife and tell his wife that, and she said, get the olive oil and let us pray. How would I hit her a hard slap out of my Bible in the name of Jesus? You see the levels is the truth. Yeah. So tonight we're going to talk about that. We wanted to continue to interact with us because the truth is, I know some of you here. Hello. See if we can get a PJ Patterson look. Hello. I know some of you here. It might not use battery. It might use your finger energy and all of that. Yes? So we're going to talk about the things. Yeah, because people out there need help. I get a lot of talks. A lot of people say, Pastor, it was informative. I learned a lot. And now I know what to do. You can imagine at the end of this program, if we call in the dildo, bringing in the dill, bringing in the dolls. We are come rejoicing, bringing in the dildos. Yeah, a lot of them would have come in last week. We never met that altar call, but we might make it this week. So you don't know Thursday Night Topic Live, as I said, is where we discuss issues and we speak from our passion. Our passion, you may think that we're aggressive, angry, hungry, or we just chat nonsense. It's not nonsense. It's facts. Anything we talk is facts. We don't deal with wolf around here. It's at the levels. So get your popcorn, get your drinks, get your chicken, your pork, get every one of them. Husband and wife getting themselves together on the chair. This is the best time to be naked watching anything. Yes, the best time, the best time, the best time. Right, Minister Garden? Oh, sorry. Right, Minister Fifi? Oh, sorry. Right, Daddy Turbo? Yeah, them are young people. They're not going to answer. Yeah, so just call up everybody. Let them know that we are on and we're talking real life facts tonight. 50 Christian and no Christian will be. It's a problem in life. It's the levels. And some man when I get sex and then thirsty, they look for some avenue. And some woman when I get enough and can come, like Minister Fifi said. Minister Fifi said she knows somebody that will come 4 or 5 times. And because the man not able to do it, she go and get some bills. Those. Yes? So we're going to talk about that. So this is where I stop talk for now and turn over to my trusted co-host as she introduce our guests tonight, our panel, and she will allow them to introduce themselves and say hi. And then we are going to dig deep. So husband and wife, get on yourself together. We're going to have a blast tonight because a real problem. Think about how much people you know that have the deal now. And some of the man them fast vagina, Anne-Marie and Annie Palmer. The only difference is they can't do it without the 5 children them. Am I right, Daddy Turbo? Yes. So when someone talk about them that have no fast vagina, Anne-Marie and Annie Palmer is right there. Hello? What's that for you now? Go like she don't know, say I chew me and talk. So I turn over to my lovely marriageable, ready to get married cousin who is free, single, and this is disengaged. Me know. She's a lovely mother of 2 beautiful daughters and they're soon of age. So they can go tour the world. Yes, magic carpet and thing. You see the levels? And me I tell her, say she a white material. Me know. If she wasn't, I would have tell her no. Run from that girl. You see the levels? But any man get this girl, get a good one. Right, Minister Fiona? Get a good one. And I must say, Minister Fiona, you're single too. Looking all beautiful up inside the hair. Where are the single men? I tell you, let me come out on the business and learn over to my co-host. No wonderful co-hosts who get married. Hello, Daddy. Daddy Turbo, one 70-year-old man love off your daughter. I know, a 78-year-old man love off your daughter. I know, Daddy. And they should let me know this.
Is that for real?
Daddy, that the man there have to go get 2 dildo.
Hallelujah.
78-year-old. My cousin, I believe in them thing, them man. No. Daddy, I true me, I tell you. She'll tell you. She'll call you and tell you because daughter talk to father about stuff.
Oh.
But you my tongue, there one wet place, it tempted to slip at times.
I'm looking forward to take the jet plane again.
Well. Good evening to each and every one of you who are tuning in with us right now. Good evening, Mr. Redeemed to the world. You are just too much, sir. You are too much. You are too much. What an introduction. Yes, my daddy, my real daddy. He's here with me and he's real because he's also my mommy's boyfriend. Yeah, he's very real. Look at us. We look alike. Yes. And Reverend Fiona, she's here. You will have noticed that Sister Lisa Beaton is missing. And that's because she's having some technical issues. She just messaged me and she said she's still trying to get on, but she's been having some technical issues. We were trying to wait for her, but then we had to go on because time is of essence. So we just want to say thank you to each and every one who are currently, on chat. And I know there are lots of you in the background. Yeah, I see you. I check y'all out. I know you're there. Yeah. Some of you would love to come in, but you're rude. So you cannot come into the door without apology. Yeah, but it's all right. You can watch in the overflow. You'll be educated, and that's fine. God bless you all, and welcome to another hot. Did I say hot? Hot topic. Very, very hot topic. Yes, and I was doing a little research myself. And I have an article or maybe a couple that I would like to just give you a little bit of it. Yes, sir?
I'm interested to know what you research.
Well, no. I was researching the addiction of the toys. And there was one person who was sharing her story about her addiction and how it impacts relationship for her. Yes. And you were mentioning that somebody wanted it to happen like 6 times. Well, she wanted it like 10 times a day.
Is not me mentioned that, is Minister Fiona.
Well, I know.
Crazy people. She knows some crazy people. Also, she knows some greedy people. Yes. Then she don't know, say, a grand spend she come from. Yeah.
Yes. So before we get into the program, yes, Reverend Fiona Riley, come on. Yes, you're up to say hello.
Full time you change your name there. Full time you change your name there from Riley.
Such a troublemaker.
Oh my goodness. Good evening, everyone. Good evening to Minister Gordon. Good evening to Pastor Redeem, troublemaker.
Totally.
Good evening to Daddy. Good evening to Daddy Turbo on the line. And tonight, we're looking to have a grand time. Part 2 of Hot Topic. And of course, we're looking for a third part. So it's very interesting that Minister Gordon talked about the addiction. I can't wait because I was looking into the addiction as well. So I'm excited. Good evening, everyone. And I hope you will enjoy what we have to provide for you today.
All right. Thank you for that. Daddy Turbo, you are up.
Good evening to everyone, especially tonight's Hot Topic Live. It is a subject that is very delicate and it have a lot of input. And knowing that we have Minister Fiona and Pastor Redeem and my beautiful daughter who have gone through most of the research, I just want all of us to participate, enjoy ourselves, things that we never know. Tonight you will get to know it. When we finish tonight, you will be completely highlighted. So enjoy the ride. We are in first class.
No pun intended, right? He said, enjoy the ride. That's my father. See how me look beautiful.
Enjoy the ride. What a topic to use such a statement. Minister Fiona.
That's why I said no pun intended.
A story been told about a young man ask his father. I hear this and I nearly reach a ground today. Serious. A story been told about a young man asking father, what is a prostitute? And the father tell him it's a bicycle. That bicycle is a prostitute. So him ask him father, what is a condom? And the father said the chain of the bicycle is the condom. So the young man riding to school, Minister Fiona. Abracadabra, the real Christian them can't hear this. The young man riding the bicycle to the school and the chain fell off. So he reached school late. So when he reached school, the teacher asked him, why are you so late? He said, miss, I was riding my prostitute and the condom dropped off. You see why parents must stop telling them children stupidness? But pitney come out of plane. You know much plane pass over my house. One mount of pitney flying. Yeah. So the Yuka boy tell him, mother say, I was right in the teacher. I was right in my prostitute and the condom drop off.
What a time for Sister Alicia to come in the room. Guess what? Everybody had their turn and you're up next. So greet everyone. Greet everyone, Sister Alicia. Welcome. I know you were having some technical difficulties, but we're happy that you're here.
It's funny, every Thursday night now I get an internet problem, only on Thursday night. So we know how the devil is busy, So good night to everyone. My name is Alicia Beaton, and I'm looking forward for this hot topic on a hot Thursday night. And especially coming in at the part where I just came in, it kind of already have me on my toes. I feel like I need to catch up. I feel like I need to just go back and rewind and catch up to where Journal left off. So no, I'm looking forward for tonight. I'm looking forward for tonight. I think last week was really helpful to a lot of people out there, and helpful to myself too, and my spouse, because he was listening in. So I'm hoping that this week here we can continue.
That's my brother-in-law.
He's right beside me. All he asked not to put him on camera. He just want to hear the
Show your face. Show your face. Show your face. Show your face. All right, that's my brother-in-law. Single ladies, he's taken. Gone.
Yes. So I'm really looking forward for tonight, though. I think tonight I'm a little bit more relaxed with the topic.
All right. Yeah, as we all know that, especially in Christendom, human sexuality is a taboo, something that nobody wants to talk about, but we all get here because of that. Well, let me not say we all, because maybe someone had used artificial insemination. So we don't know, but I know I get here because of that, right? Look at me. I look like my mommy and my daddy, like there is no...
Because of that what? You get here because of that what? A dildo?
No, sir. I was talking about human sexuality. No, sir. Well, you think bullet or dildo can produce such a fine person, sir?
I don't know. I just know the topic we're talking about, and you say you get here because of that.
No, I'm saying that human sexuality is a taboo. People don't want to talk about it, but it is real. It is for real. So before we get into Bob Marley, and maybe tonight we'll just do a little piece of Bob Marley, we'll see. Just to say hello to those who are already on chat. My mommy, my daddy girlfriend, Minella Eddie, she's here and she's saying hello. Yes, everyone, pleasant good evening. Sister Pamela Grant, she's here saying good evening to everyone as well. And what a blessing to be a child of God. Yes, Delroy Wright, Brother Wayne, he came back for more. He's saying good evening, to God be the glory. Sister Joan Clark is here saying good evening, everyone. Sister Marcia, I haven't seen her for a long time. She's saying good night to Pastor Redeem, all the ministers. Yes, and everyone. Sister Joan Clark said, talk the things, Pastor. Yeah, talk the things. And she said she is single too. Pastor, take note. Sister Joan Clark is single too. Yes. We have Real Talk host, Minister Vivian Nash. She's here with us saying grace and peace, everyone. And Sister Pam is blazing the fire already because it's hot. Yes, Brother Wayne is talking about he's a cucumber man. When you say he's a cucumber man, are you referring to yourself? Do you like cucumber? Just checking. Sister Lovelet said good night, everyone. Minister Ozzy Daniel, he's here. He's saying good evening. And he said, I have my popcorn. Yes, he is ready. Guess who is in the house? Mitchie is here. She said, good night, Pastor Redeem. Plow up, Pastor. Minister Althea. Good night to you, woman of God. To you, other ministers on the forum, good night. Jumpstart family, good night. Blessed are those who hunger and thirst after righteousness, for they shall be filled. Yes, yes, yes. And she said, Minister Althea, well, you got young people slang on your mind. How you know about that word? Yes.
I was check on my cousin all. How did you this?
Yeah, she said, good night, sister. Going to be very filled indeed tonight. That Sister Pam saying that to her. Yes, Minister Ozzy saying, train up the child in the way they should go. Yes, 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 yes. Lots of interaction already. Sister Mitch is saying, I grew up thinking plain bring babies, so trust me, sex is not a word people want to speak of. I don't know why, but that's the truth. It's the elephant in the room. Somebody better talk about it. Sister Tish is here saying, good night. Come like I'm in for a treat. That's right. Everybody's in for a treat tonight, sis. Come on now. Oh, Brother Wayne said, your father. So are you trying to say, oh, you're saying he's the cucumber man? Oh my goodness, I'm laughing too much already. Sister Sue said, night, night to the panel and all. Good to hear from you, Sister Sue. Sister Marcia was going to eat some cucumber, but never mind. Don't worry, Sister Marcia. It's your vegetable. Go ahead and have it. Maybe for the wrong program, but that's okay. Just make sure you cut it in pieces, okay? Just don't just bite it.
Cucumber will get you pregnant.
Oh, my word. I'm telling you, life is fun. Laughing is fun. It's good. Where's Minister Phillips? All right, Bob Marley. Just to turn it up a bit. Sister Atlin, welcome. Ati. Minister Phillips is here. Welcome.
But my aim was made strong by the end of the Almighty. We flowered in this generation.
Welcome, Monette.
Triumphantly, won't you help us sing these songs of freedom?
Whoops. Sorry. What happened?
Pull up it up, pull up it up.
Pull up it up, pull up it up.
Redemption songs.
Hold on. No, it got me into something else. I was trying to turn up the volume on the speaker, and that's what happened. Hold on. Let me mute my mic because I don't want to get into. Sorry about that.
All pirates, yes, they rabbi, sold unto the merchant ships. Minutes of a day to guide from the bottomless pit, but my aim was made strong by the end of the Almighty.
Rochelle Uboy is in the house. Welcome. Annette Parish, she is here. None of them can stop the time.
Our Lord shall kill
A
our
prophet.
while we stand aside and look. Some say it's
Just
just
a part of it
we've got
to
to
fulfill the book.
won't you
Help me sing these songs of freedom. I ever have. Redemption song. Redemption song. Redemption song. All right, we're gonna stop it here. Okay, because time is already far spent. Emancipate yourself from mental slavery. Are you suffering from an addiction, a sex toy addiction that you want to be free from? And in your heart, you want to be freed, but in your mind, you're so addicted, you don't know how to pull away from it? This will help you tonight. All right, Pastor Redeem, go ahead, sir.
Well, yes, yes, yes. I want you to know that we are real people, and as much as we are saved, sanctified, Holy Ghost filled, on our way to heaven, until we get there, we have to live on earth, and we have to live with our spouses. We have to live among people, and we cannot. Jesus himself, when he walked earth, for man to understand life and everything he had to teach, he had to use earthly illustrations to deal with earthlings. Yes? You might not understand the way I understand how important this is because you have not been through what I've been through. And I'm just saying me, but I'm speaking generally. Yes? I have known a lot of marriages that is mashed up because of sex toys. And the truth is, some of the sex toy, Minister Fiona, Alicia, my dear sister, and Minister Gordon, and Daddy Turbo, some of the sex toys have blood running through the veins. Because it's not all the ladies jack up a dildo in a then draw. Some of them take a drive. Some of them go and visit somebody. And some of the men too. Some of the men them have, the little spooky and them take a drive. And I don't know them say I drive, them take a drive. Yeah? But we don't want to fool ourselves that the only thing going on is something in a drawer, right? Some people using human being, yeah? And how it works, he do me better than who is at home. She do me better than who is at home. So hence they're addicted and always be going out, yeah? And the truth is, some women go out because man lock chop on them. Okay, no man lock chop on a woman, me no know. Can you understand it, Aya? Yeah? Some man go out because woman lock shop on them. Why are they in the shop business? We're talking about sex. When people vex, they say they're not getting nobody none. And we are people who already used to sex. Yeah? We don't enter marriage or relationship virgin. Yeah? And some of us, before we come to Christ, sex was that thing for us. Climax is a drug. It's addictive. Most people have sex just for climax. So they don't think about their moral value. They don't think about hurting somebody. They don't think about STDs. They don't think about none of that. I just want to come and that's it. I just want to hit my climax. And if I get a workplace boy, I'm going to hit my climax. I'm going to find until I get there. And if I get a woman that can't get me satisfied, I'm going to find until I get there. And to I don't search and I don't find none, I go to the battery. Yeah? And that is causing a lot of things in marriages, in our church life, because a lot of Christians in marriage, they might use these things. Then they're married. Yeah, they will tell you straight. So then when they hear them talk about their husband, ask them who. Yeah, in jack up in a one corner, them draw. He don't talk back at me. He don't ask me what for dinner. He don't ask me about the laundry. He don't ask me about this. He don't ask me that deal that they are going to send a guy hell. Yeah, Is reality speaking. So we are going to uncover a lot of this. We have Daddy Wisdom with us who have been through a lot, right? And a lot of these addiction, we can come back. You can come back from these addiction if you just fix what you have working for you. A lot of people give up on their spouse and not understand that the spouse might need a physical help, health-wise, to be able. And if you have to tell the man or tell the woman what to do to get you to a climax, don't be afraid. The best communication to have is during sex. I'm laying this foundation because we want you to know nobody just go and buy a false vagina and a false dildo and go buy a dildo because they want to buy it. It's something send them down that path. Something send them there. And most of the time is lack of satisfaction. Some of them are pervert, to the truth. If you think you're not from pervert Christian, you're fool yourself. There's some pervert Christians, boy, me I tell you. I went to one church in one first world country, and I said, which one of them? And I went to preach. And Daddy, me couldn't preach, you know. Me tell you the truth. Daddy, me have the word of God. I'm ready to go hammer the word of God. But one little sister, she sit down in front every night, me I tell you about reality. Me used to hear about these things, but me see it for myself. I could have seen the pink dress she have and sit down in the front seat. I preach, me I go preach. How can I not see that? So me lean over to the pastor, me and my father as the bishop was there, and me said to him, I said, you know, find that young lady that distracted right there, sir. He said, no, that's her seat and she's comfortable right there. So I leave her right there. I said, hello, don't worry. So I go to preach and I took up the mic and I sing me a song and tell the church to praise the Lord. You got a big mouth praise. You know what I did? I said, sister, in the name of the Lord Jesus Christ. You see that third bench down there, so I want you go down there go sit down. As you see, I got to tell me till I go down there go sit down. That's the power of the pulpit. And she go down there go sit down and I wait for a word. We never promise her a word. But they say in the name of our Lord Jesus Christ, I think you need to go and sit in that third bench right down there. Right there, yes. In the middle of the third bench. And she go down there go sit down. Probably she thinks that down there she don't get the word far. Yeah. But I mean, no, I wasn't distracted again for the rest of the night. It's reality. We don't want to see a pink dress when you come to church. It's just the truth. So the truth is a lot of people go inside of these things because one, the enemy uses it as a temptation for them. Two, the enemy knows it's their weakness. And three, some of them marriage and sex life had gone whack and they just decide to turn to these things. A female that have been raped, she's not going to find a man pleasurable. Every time that man touch her underwear, she's going to remember rape. So she mostly will think, let me go get my man and put him in my drawer. Reality. A man that get raped, pastor, a man that get raped, that's how they feel. And that's why they think men can't be hurt. You know, man, me have a man, my friend used to rape me and me never know. Me I tell you the truth. Me used to love when she come to be on a weekend. Me I tell you, when time auntie so-and-so come and say, Jerry's going to come by the house to help me do some handiwork. I was doing some handiwork, yes, at 12 and 13. At 12 and 13. She could have been my aunt, my grandmother. But we don't know no difference. I don't know no difference. A big woman decides that she going to teach me a thing or two. When me tell her no, she will slap me. She will beat me. And then go home and tell my mother that I wasn't being a good boy. So let's be a good boy and take the lesson. You see what I'm saying? So I became addicted. See, fine to keep one woman, it wasn't my thing. Yeah? Seriously. So you find that is why me have a child, anyway, I want to see and understand. But God can bring you back to sanity. By the time Rochelle get under me, I was a virgin. I was a recycled virgin. Bathe myself wisely. Is reality speaking. Yes? So hence, a lot of people have the reason why they do these things. And we're not condemning anybody. We're here to help. We are here to show you, that if you continue the draw away, when you do get a husband, you're not going to be satisfied. You're not going to be pleased. When you get a wife, you're not going to be satisfied. You're not going to be pleased. And then it's going to make your love life miserable. And when your love life miserable, your marriage became miserable. When your marriage became miserable, your family miserable. And then you just have a miserable break apart. It is fixable. So at this time, I'm going to ask Minister Fiona, because she started a blaze last week and I see where she hold it down. Me see she buckle up her foot in her shoe. So, because these ladies, these nowadays ladies, you know, all when they're on virtual, they're in her high heels. And me literally see when she buckle up her toe in her heels. So, it was a red bottom, black high heel shoes. She buckle up her toe in her, so I say, hold it down, Fifi, hold it down. So we want her to unleash. You have done some research, Minister Gardner have done some research. Before we dig in it, I believe we should talk about the addictions to help the mind of those who are addicted, right? And then we can go in other branches. But there will be a part 3 because the medical doctor could not make it tonight and said next week. So all of what we have to talk about, we'll have to stay for next week. But all that we don't have to talk about can talk about tonight. Right, Sister Alicia, say yes. All right. So over to you, Minister Fee.
Okay. Good evening again, everyone. And I'm glad Pastor Redeem said that we are here to help. We're not here to condemn anybody. We're not here to judge anybody. We're actually here to help. When we think about why sometimes when people start using toys and why they become addicted, then we can say, like you said, it's incision of trauma. So they may have gone through some kind of trauma, like the one you have explained now. It's not just men that go through it, but women go through it as well, where they may have been molested, that sort of thing, whether by a woman or by a man. And then they decide that, guess what? I don't trust a woman and I don't trust a man with that area of my life. So the safest thing to do is to turn to toys. And then it becomes an addiction. There are other women. I spoke to one lady over in Florida. She was explaining, like I asked her, because she uses toys a lot. So I spoke to her and I said to her, is it that your spouse is not good why you use the toys? And she said, no, Rev. We could go for a very long time. And when he is finished, I don't feel satisfied unless I use my toy. So as good as he is, I'm just looking forward to go and use my toy. When he fall asleep, I'm going into the washroom and I'm going to use my toy. And she's like, that is the only way that she can actually fall asleep. So then we want to look at that, like that's an addiction, because she's saying to me, I cannot fall asleep. She said her toy is able to put her to sleep over her spouse. So did you want to say something, Pastor?
I would like you to rewind again. Where you say she can't do what?
No, she said to me, because I did ask her, is it that your spouse is not good? Because I wanted to know, why did she use the toy? Because she explained to me that she uses toys. So I wanted to know, what was it? Why did you use the toy? Is it that you were, because I remember last week, even Daddy was saying, sometimes you can use it on your spouse and that sort of thing. So I was thinking, probably her husband was falling short in some areas. But she explained to me that he wasn't falling short in any areas, just that it didn't matter how good he was. When he was finished, even when he fell asleep, she had to go to the washroom and use her toy. And that's the only way that she could fall asleep. So I want to say that's an addiction. And Pastor, I hope later that you touch on the spiritual aspect of it. I don't want to throw too many things out there. But now this woman is addicted. And there are many other people who are addicted like that. Now, some other ladies that I spoke to explained to me, so what they have experienced is unnatural bleeding. Like some of the side effects that they have experienced by using all these different toys is this unnatural bleeding. So it's not their cycle time. And they have whether spotting or they have regular bleeding or whatever it is. And this is another side effect from the toys that they may have used. So it's not just the spiritual aspect that is affected, but your physical aspect is affected as well. Your social aspect, your emotional aspect, your psychological aspect. Like all those areas are touched and affected when you become addicted to toys, right? So that's the point I want to make. And hopefully, like I said, later on, you can touch on the spiritual aspect of it. But I'm not, like I said, I'm not here to judge, but I believe, in my opinion, it does more harm than good when you become addicted to these sex toys. Yes, you want to climax and all that sort of stuff. It feels good, but the side effects, spiritually, emotionally, psychologically, is it, when you weigh the pros and cons, is it worth it? So that's what I have to say.
It's so real that you would give at least that one side effects on natural bleeding. Yeah, we need to understand that God is the mastermind here. And the Genesis, God says, when he created everything, he looked and see that it was good. The good there don't mean the shape, size, and the feel. The good there mean is exactly how I want it. You must understand that the material God used to make the penis, there is no manufacturer in the world can find that material to make dildo. The material that God used to make the vagina. Don't care how long a man's penis is. Don't care how fat, small, or whatever it is. There is a thing called stroke pressure. And these false things cannot control that. So all when some women tell them husband, harder, kill him, you want him drop down right there upon it. Yeah? Because God create that. Every man have a different stroke. And this is another can we can open. And if a man truly understand himself and his body, a man don't need to put camera to know if his woman cheating on him. Because a vagina is, it takes the shapes of whatever it takes. And if you go in there for a while, it's like a shoe, you put your foot in it, it's uncomfortable at new, but you continue to wear it, the foot get to a comfortable place in it. So if a man truly know himself and understand the female body, likewise a woman, if she understand her body and a man body, you can tell when somebody step out. Yeah? But the stroke, no, there is no such thing as a safe sex toy that is out there. Because when it is referred to from a doctor as a prescription, they will tell you how to use it, not to just get wild on it. I carry tourists in Jamaica. And going down into Fern Gully, you have Johnny B. Good stand up. You don't know Johnny B. Good? You ever been to Fern Gully, Minister Fiona? I see this big, they carve out this big, probably 5 foot male statue holding a big bold penis in her hand. Me carry tourists. We push that down and short. Me carry tourists. We buy that penis because they make it where it can come out. We buy it and carry it home and say that this is their new man. It won't create damage. Anything that is come up against, that you're using against the natural uses our God created, it will create damage and side effects. And that bleeding is just one of them. The second thing about that bleeding it comes with a serious odor, a terrible odor. And you wonder how the woman in her cycle, that odor is not so strong. But this bleeding odor is totally different. It's a lot of things going to it. So when you are just being pleasured by a climax, you're damaging yourself. And look from now, not even your dildo can help you. Because it just ream it out. Yeah? And then you're looking how good your Coca-Cola back of shape and like a man propose to you. And then when you're married, the man and you go honeymoon, you have to turn on the light to see where him drop. And then you think to say, no, the man feel tricked No, hold on. No. I don't want nobody to feel bad about this. I'm talking about facts. Some woman use something where it's impossible for man carry that size of penis to fit and to suit them. It's reality. And a lot of men felt betrayed when they got to, I mean, I see this nice, lovely thing, and then bam, me think say, yeah, going to be a good thing now. And then all kind of patrol meet me. All kind of thing. No, it's reality. Likewise, men. A lot of men use these things to pleasure themselves and get oversized penis. And then the woman decides, say, you can't get nothing from me because you're not going to bust me up. So it's a lot of things going on here. So that bleeding is just one of them. And we're going to talk about the addictions and all of this before we wrap up tonight, because you're going to need to know. Some of you, you're just addicted and you feel it is good. It is not. When you cross certain age, then you're going to see the attack clap of it. Right? So, Minister Garden, over to you. You can delegate and navigate and share and separate. Right?
All right.
And we go again.
All right. So before I go into the article that I have, Mitch was saying, Minister Fiona, you are correct. I was molested and took me long to trust man, you know. And she said she had a dildo. No, I laugh because I was going to read and say, aye, but then, you know, Pastor Redeem said, no, that don't sound right. So I decided to switch it. So that's the only reason why I laugh. That's the only reason. So she was saying she had a dildo in bracket. It was new. She said she told her pastor's child about it and she came for it to show a friend. She said up till now, she never see it again. And she said it's in Antigua that she learned about sex toys years ago. And she said, thank God she didn't get the experience to use it.
I thought it was in Antigua she learned a pastor's child and get it back.
So, Pastor, do you think Rochelle Uber should come on just since, you know, all those things are in Antigua?
The truth is that she have a wealth of knowledge where these things are concerned because she never been a Christian. I oftentimes tell people if they should hear my wife's testimony, me not have a testimony. But the truth is, again, Rachel is not the type that would come and sit here and, you know, if it happened once in a blue moon, and I know I'm not Smurf, so I don't know how to puff a blue moon. We just have to trust and see. We might be lucky tonight. Me don't know, she might get up and walk, come sit down beside this handsome hunk of flesh. You know? Me don't know. Go on, Fiona, you can't go and laugh. I don't know, but she's not the type that really readily thing. And I personally have to respect that.
All right. Okay, so here's the headline. It's in the Mirror, and it's called Single Mom Admits She Can't Find a Boyfriend as she is addicted to her sex toys. So her face is there, name is there. It said a woman who uses sex toys up to 10 times a day says her addiction has made it impossible, note that word, impossible for her to find love. Alicia Downing is 28, single for 3 years, has spent more than 3,000 pounds, pounds, on gadget during a 15-year addiction. She said that she understands sex toys can make men feel insecure. The guys have to accept that anything with batteries will always get the job done quicker and more efficiently. And that's quote. She said one man was seen she said one of the men she was seen through her vibrator out the window during an argument. He didn't like the fact that she was using the toys when he wasn't there. She admitted that the vibrators have replaced her sex life. Also, she was saying there often time that things, she said she think about when, she usually think about it often. You see, I'm trying not to say the word I, okay? bear with me. So she oftentimes think about it when she wakes up in the morning,
You
and
can
she
trust
used
me
them.
and say I.
She used
We all
them.
know that you didn't know what a bullet was.
She used
And we
them up to.
understand that you read it. So you can say I.
She said she used them up to 10 times a day, and that she find herself getting a bit moody if she hasn't had an orgasm. She said the more she used her toy, the more dependent, note that word, she become on those things. And she said she feels it's like a similar feeling as when it comes to cigarette, the addiction. She said is the similar feeling, because just like someone crave for the cigarette, that's the way she crave for it. She says she's not ashamed, and some women have a thing for shoes and for bags. Hers just happen to be her toys. You know, she get a thrill from them, right? She said her addiction started when she was a teenager. She said when she was 13 years old, she didn't have sex toys. So she said she used household items. Get this. She used items such as back massager, toothbrushes, and anything that vibrates. She said she had a difficult childhood and needed an escape, and masturbation became that for her. She said it helped distract her mind from the emotions that she was dealing with at the time. She said at the age of 17, she bought the first one, and it was a straight away she got hooked on it. Right? So let's see. It's a long piece, but she was hooked on it, and she cannot find love. She's hoping that one day she could find love. The addiction because I read it earlier, the addiction became so much that she actually opened a store where she started selling these items. Because why? She's getting away from a childhood past. So like it's already been established that we're not here to judge anyone. People, have some kind of a past. Some people use different outlets to bury themselves or to try to escape the past, right? Deliverance can come to you if you're out there tonight and you're having these struggles. All right. So, Sister Alicia, I'm going to pick on you. Do you want to weigh in on this? You're a counselor. Yeah, she's a counselor.
I kind of like when Pastor really gonna pick who to speak, because he kind of leave me for last. But every time you get the opportunity, you always Sister Alicia. I can't wait the day when I can get back at you. Like, really. It's so funny. Well. Good night once again. Pat, when I was studying substance abuse, it's funny that we're speaking on this topic, because most of the time when you're talking about abuse or substance abuse, everybody's thinking about pills, different type of drugs and alcohol and so on, but nobody tends to talk about sex, because they do not see sex as a substance abuse. And it's a very, very uncomfortable topic for a lot of people to talk about. Even at home, in the church, at school, you find that the teachers are more open to teaching the children about sex more than the parents. And I, as a mom, I always say, who better to teach your children about sex than somebody at home? And I want to say to parents out there, if you feel uncomfortable having that conversation with your child or with your children, ask an aunt or a close friend that can actually have that conversation, but make sure that you sit in so you can have a little bit of objection, or you can have a little bit of input if you don't know what to say to that child or children. Because when you leave the outsiders to download. I normally like to use the word download because our brains become like a computer these days. We tend to process information, and we can actually, when we process those information, it can be helpful and it can be detrimental to our own self. So for me, I would say to parents out there, make sure that when you're having a conversation or you're allowing somebody to have those conversations with your children or child, make sure that you are present and you can have some sort of input. Because when you allow outsiders to download information into your children and you're not there, especially on sex, it can be detrimental to your child. And it depends on the age. And sometimes people think, you know what, because I'm older, I'm safe where sexual abuse is concerned. Sexual abuse doesn't have an age. Your spouse you can go through sexual abuse from your spouse at home. Some men use their wife as tools, and likewise some wives, they use their husband as tools. They're just there to have sex, nothing else. They have the maid in the house, the maid do all the cooking, the cleaning, and the husband go out and work, and that's all they need. When they come home, they just need you to have sex. And for me, that's an abuse at home. So people tend to think that you can only get abused as a child. You can get abused right at home. Look at it, fathers molest their children. It can be boy child or a girl child, it doesn't even matter. So who are we safe with? For me, I say to young people out there, and even anybody who's going through whatever abuse, and especially sexual abuse, it's really, really, really bad, because sexual abuse can damage you so much that you would never, even if you're in a marriage or in a relationship, or like Cece just said just now, the young lady looking for love, but she can't find love because she is just measuring. A man wouldn't be able to measure up with a toy, because that's all she knew from the time she started. That's all she knew. So for her, she trusts that, and that's all she's gonna want, unless she can go through what we know best, deliverance. Then there's nobody can help her. And the only body can help her is herself, by admitting, listen, I have a problem and I want to deal with this problem so I can find love. I can go, I can maybe, somebody can go to her and say, listen, you have a problem. But how many people are bold out there to speak about sex or to tell somebody they have an addiction to sex? A lot of times, even our own self, we don't even want to talk to ourselves about it. So you're not gonna find a lot of people talking to each other about, the addiction, especially if it's a sexual addiction. You find a lot of young girls and a lot of young men masturbate, self-pleasure themselves. We need to let people know that it's wrong. It's not right to touch yourself that way, especially when you're young, because going into a relationship when you get older, it can create a problem. Your husband or your wife or your girlfriend would never ever be able to satisfy you as an individual. Now, I normally say, when you're getting into a relationship, you need to have these conversations and be honest and upfront. If you have a problem, if that person so love you and want to be with you, they would help you through that. It doesn't matter what addiction you have. If that person want to be with you and find you to be their soulmate, they would help you. And that's when you know that somebody truly love you and somebody truly care and want to be with you. Don't sell yourself short and tell yourself, you know what, because I have this addiction, that nobody want me or nobody need me. Just ask for help. Help is always there, but we have to start by asking. If you don't ask, or if you don't say something, then nobody would know what you're going through. So it's very much important. So young people out there, I think we need to start, everybody on this platform too, you know, maybe it's a lesson for us to start doing, talking to people, you know, not only coming online, because you can only reach so much people. Sometimes some of the people in our everyday life that we're laughing and talking to going through that, but they're not brave enough, or, you know, put it this way, bold enough to say that I have a problem. But maybe if you start a conversation in some area, you know, it's gonna come up, and that means that you can help that person at the time. Anybody out there that have an addiction, I think what you should do is find somebody that you trust, that you can talk with. It's very important, rather than keeping it inside. Keeping it inside can cause so much damage to yourself, not only to the people around you, but it can cause a lot of problem to yourself in the future. It can destroy something really, really good, and it can destroy you if you don't ask for help. So I would say to people out there, you have a problem, just cry out, just cry out, but just don't keep it inside. Keeping it inside can cause depression, can cause mental health, can cause so much thing to you. You know, you can end up hurting yourself and hurting the people that you love the most. So for me, I would say to young people, and I like to stress on young people, because the old people tends to judge us a lot, but they don't know what we go through. And sometimes we depend on the old people to give us a little, put it this way, a little tweet, and instead of they giving us a little tweet, they beat us down with a hammer. That's what they do. They just beat us down all the time. You know, so I like to stress when I'm talking, I normally like to mention young people, because we get beat down so much, is that we just don't care anymore. And it's not that we don't care, it's just that, you know, that's what people expect from us. That's what the older people in, or the older generation expect from us, not to care. Because that's how they talk to us. You know what? You young people this and you young people that. But no, maybe that young person is crying out for help. And if we just take 1 second to see that that person crying out for help, maybe we can help somebody before they get pushed over to the edge. You know, sometimes we wonder why we have in this young generation, we have so much young people turn into alcohol, turn into drugs, turn into sex. It's not that they don't want God. It's not that they don't want God. Maybe they don't even know that there's a God, because they were never taught about these things. So each one of us, or each person that is listening tonight, maybe this can be your, put it this way, a project. You know, you doesn't have to start the conversation about sex. You can start a conversation about anything. And if that person feel comfortable talking with you or trust you, they would open up about whatever abuse or whatever they're going through, and maybe you can help them. And I normally say, if you can help somebody, you must know somebody who you can reach out to help that person. But never leave them alone, because most of the time you go on Facebook, or, you know, even in our own neighborhood, we hear a young person commit suicide, or a young person, you know, homeless because of this abuse or because of this addiction. Maybe if that person had the help at the time, they would not have ended up where they end up. So sometimes we cry out for help and people just don't listen. You know, everybody think, oh, you're just catching a tantrum, or you're just going through a phase. Sometimes, yes, you're going through a phase, but if you don't get help through that phase, it becomes an addiction. It starts with a phase, and if you don't get help, it become a habit, and then a habit become an addiction. That's how it works in real life. So instead of we spending time criticizing each other, or talking about each other, or laughing at our neighbor kids, or, you know, talking about, whispering about it, maybe we should reach out, because our neighbor don't know what to say to that child. Maybe the mom or the dad going through the same thing, and they just don't know how to reach out to their own child or children. So
That's
we
right.
need to go back to the days where we said a village would raise a child or children. We need to get back to those days.
And
It's so important.
And as you say that, Sister Alicia, sorry for interjecting there or interrupting. I just looked down on chat and Mitchie was saying molestation starts at home. A lot of times from the people who is supposed to look after you. I'm a living testimony, right? So I have said it myself too, that a village should raise, our children, right? So everybody, but there are some in the village who are corrupted, who instead of watching, will be touching and doing what they're not supposed to do. And for people who are addicted, it could be because they just try something. For example, whether it be drink, whether it be substances, they might say, okay, they want to just try it. But it just take one try to cause someone to go in the wrong direction. So the problem for those who get addicted because they're trying to cover up something, or they're trying to mask, or they're trying to run away from some kind of feeling, some kind of issue, some kind of pain, right? It might not be sex addiction, it might not be alcohol, it might not be drugs, but they have to deal with that underlying issue first and foremost before even the secondary, because knowing that it's that first thing that drive them into what they're doing, right? So the village should raise children, but there are a lot of people who got affected because of that very same reason.
I have my 12-year-old son because everybody else is older, but my 12-year-old, I can speak for him. And I taught him from a very young age, like very young, like from 2, I start telling him, like certain body parts, I would touch it and I said to him, plain, nobody touch there. And he's 12. And if he's playing in a group and somebody touch like his butt, like pass their hand, like by accident, he gets so upset and he just stopped playing immediately. He just stopped playing immediately. As soon as he come home, he normally say, Ma, this happened and that happened. And I normally say, oh, you know what? It was just an accident. But I know that I build that trust with my children enough that if somebody touch them, listen, I make sure that I let my children know it's okay to talk to me. Trust me, I would not judge you. And parents need to talk to their children like, trust me, like, people say you can't be friends with your children, but you have, before you're a parent, you have to be their friend, or else their friend is going to be a good friend. So for me, I am a friend first to my children, and then I say I'm a parent. Because if you always be a parent to that child, I'm telling you, we're in trouble. I'm a young mother, and proud young mother of my children. Because if I sit down and I am a mom and I tell them, listen, I trust you. There is nothing that you can do that I would get so upset that I wouldn't talk to you, or I would shout at you, or I would be angry or anything. Just come to me, talk to me, let me know. Don't allow fear to make you lie to mommy. There's nobody that's gonna love you better than your mom. Nobody out there. I normally
All right.
that I instill that in my children, and don't put that fear that, when they do something wrong, we shout at them. That the way how we communicate with our children, it makes them afraid. Even if somebody touch them, or somebody give them a drink, or somebody give them a pill, or somebody tell them just pull a cigarette or take a puff or something, they wouldn't come home and say to you, because you know what, they're accustomed to you shouting at them and talking down to them instead of talking with them. So it's
All right.
very important. We as parents, it start from home. We need to start that, because we're losing so much of our young people. It's not an easy thing.
That's true, and that's very important. We're just going to be mindful of time so that each person can get to put in their views as well. I'm going to leave what you said open, so either Daddy Turbo, Mr. Redeem or Reverend Fiona can comment. But I just want to put this little thing in as well. Yes, I remember when my daughters, they were very, very young, I told them the same thing. But we also have to be sensitive to the fact that there are people out there, there are viewers out there who were molested by father. You know what I mean? Daughter who were molested by father, and uncles and all that stuff. So it's not just about people on the outside, but how can they trust a parent? Because I've read about many instances where a daughter is being molested by a father or a stepfather, and when they go to the mother beat them, and the mother don't believe, and the mother say it's a lie. So how can they develop that bond of trust to say, okay, because I'm telling you the truth and you don't believe? Okay, so Sir Redeem, I know you have something to say. Go ahead.
I personally, that is why I said many times, if I should become a prime minister or a president, for some people to go in child making, they would have to sit and do a written exam. Seriously speaking, I trust my child words over anybody words. Doesn't mean that my child going to come and lie to me and about somebody. Trusting my children words over everybody words, simple meaning that whatever my child or children tell me, I'm going to run a thorough investigation without even the children know that I'm investigating.
Yeah? Just one thing, Jay. As parents, you should know your child. I don't care who that, listen, my mother can tell you exactly. If you tell my mom that I abuse you, my mom gonna say, you know what, she abused you, but she didn't curse you. Because my mom know me. I just don't sit down and roll over and say, yes, it's okay. I would answer you back, but then I would answer you back in a way where it's respectable. So I am saying to parents, you must be able to trust your child to that, you must know when your child is saying something right or something wrong. There's an instinct, there's a parent's instinct kicking. You have body language, you have the eyes. You can see when a child is saying something that makes sense.
The thing is, a lot of parents are like a lot of us Christians, where the child lied to them once, all when God forgive, them not forgive. So everything else the child say is a lie. I never grow with the example, Daddy Turbo, of a father that teach you how important it is to speak the truth. And a lot of parents miss the mark by thinking it's only what you tell your child not to do or to do is learning. We learn from your reaction to us. And my father beat for everything. Fiona know our grandson enough for time growing up. We get beaten for everything. You tell the truth, you get beaten. You tell lie, you get triple beaten. You don't answer, you get fupper beaten. All of that. Yeah? I sat down at a tender age and I tell myself, when I start having children, and they tell me the truth, I'm not going to beat them. Kitanya and Esther is now 25, going on 26, 24, going on 25. And from I sit them down and tell them, I don't like beat children. When me beat my pitney and me cry. I don't like it because I know what that feel like. Yeah? So I will more do the talking and the punishing and all of that. And I said to them, if you tell Daddy lie, and Daddy back you on that lie, and then find out that is a lie, Daddy gonna be embarrassed. And then when you check me on an urgent matter, I'm gonna put up a guard. I'm gonna be skeptic when your life might just depend on it. You tell Daddy the truth, we'll work it out. Don't matter what it is, we will work it out. Yeah? I'll tell you, my daughter, share my daughter talk, my eldest child. Kitanya hides nothing from me. Esther hides nothing from me. Esther is an introvert, but you don't hide nothing from me. Isaac just 3-year-old and boys are like a parrot inside his house. Don't care who or what he's talking. But parents, when our children tell us the truth and we beat them, you know what I tell them? Tell we lie next time. And it moved from tell we lie next time to don't tell we nothing at all. It moved from don't tell we nothing at all to don't ask mommy and daddy advice. And it moved from that asking mommy and daddy advice to trust the person on the street that I can that can identify with mommy and daddy beating you for everything, including the truth. And then them let them astray. And then by the time we catch the horse, the horse already gone through the gate. Most of us, and I will say black parents, is we cause our children to go astray and get addicted to the wrong things. Because if them tell us the truth, we beat them. If them don't talk, we beat them. And we not educate them. We not tell them nothing. We have beat them and them about and we tell them, stop the crime. Me involved in that too. Stop the crime. But we not explain to them what is wrong, why they have been beaten, and what is dangerous about what they did. Seriously speaking. Yeah.
You ever wonder why you find most people in church have fear in them? That fear comes from childhood, and our parents is who drive that fear in us. And we grew with that. We grew up with that fear inside of us. Must check it out and see. That fear is always with us until we get deliverance.
And we have Mr. Wisdom here with us, Daddy Turbo.
Greetings to the world, and greetings to all the panels and for all the good things that they had mentioned. You know, in our little world that we have today, and children is in this world with us, we have to be careful the example that we set as parents in this world. I have seen something today on Facebook and on YouTube that shocked me to the core of my heart. This girl is no more than about 8 years old. And she was online showing people sexual moves by twisting up herself and making sound like when a woman is having orgasm. When her mother was driving the car, and for some apparent reason, she clicked on Facebook and that's what she saw. She stopped the car and she was hitting the girl all over her. She's from America. And I said to myself, somewhere down the line, that the parents of that child might expose sexual contact between father and mother or boyfriend or whoever, and she was observing what they're doing. Now, being abused by parents and your guardians being abused by them, we know that happens all the time. But for Christian people who we are called sons of God, if we're called sons of God and we have children in our own, which is not ours, say a man go into a relationship, marry a woman that have several daughters, and when the mother is gone out, he takes serve on those girls, using them like it's his wife. That is more than abuse. Now that person is not fit to be called a father. In my field of work, what I was doing, I used to be a representative for people. I worked for the union. And sometimes there's some cases that comes up. This man came to me and he said to me, I cannot understand why my wife wants to ride a bicycle, and I do not know why she wants to ride on horseback. But every time she go out riding on the bicycle, when she come in, the whole of her trousers from the front to the bottom and way down the legs are wet. I said to him,
It's sweat.
some people riding, I said, ladies have sensitive parts of their body. That's why it's not all dildos that the ladies use inserting them. Sometimes they just use it on the clits and that's all they want, the enjoyment, where some of the men need to be there to help them out with it. They just, oh, let me use it. Can I use the word what some people call it? Oh, I just need a poke. That's not good enough. We're not going to run away from the subject, but to start and depend on dildo at all times is not good enough. But it's something that some people depend on because of the abuse that they had received in a relationship. If you have a man and say he's supposed to be there for you, but Friday evening when he come in and he's dressed up, you don't see him until Sunday night, that woman is going to be thinking. So when she go out and she do the same thing, she has to be careful of her life because he'll beat the devil out of her. All because he go and exploit himself and she go out and does the same thing. Dildo, I look on it several different ways. Some women have relationship with women. They use this thing called butterfly vibrator that they tie around their waist, just like a man's penis. And when it goes down in the vagina, it vibrates and it gives this woman that sensation. The person that is using it have the same feeling because it's just over her organ, but because of the vibration of it, both of them having their climax at the same time. Okay. Some men who are husbands, who are impotent, and have some beautiful ladies in their house as their wife, if they want that wife to stay in their house, I don't mind if they go and buy one like that to help that wife, to keep that wife in the house and not on the street. I can't give against that person that way because he is impotent.
But Daddy.
Yes, sir.
We're being real.
Yes.
I would rather educate that man that, boy, the vagina is the cleanest part of the human body.
But I was coming to it, you know.
Oh, okay.
Yes. If he do not, oh, sorry, my thing is off. Okay. If he knows how to please her, this thing is off again. One second.
No, man, we're hearing you.
Yeah. It's on now. Okay. If he knows how to please her, all he wants to do is to give her the loving that she requires in the area that she needed to be. The problem that we have as men, we think that they are dirty and that place is cleaner than some of them mouth. And because it is cleaner than some of them mouth, because some of them eat their food and they don't even brush their teeth for 2 days. But they expect to love a person and be kissing on them. And when they open their mouth, the lady has to say, did you eat cabbage yesterday or the day before? Why you smell like this? You turn them off. That's why they go resort to their dildos. Because the dildo does not affect them. The only thing is, when you're using it, if you go to the doctor and that is been prescribed, they will tell you how to use it, where to put it when you finish. Make sure that it is not touching against any fabric, because if it's touched against fabric, it can cause you to have an STD. So you might be still playing with your dildo and still get STD from it. But I'm saying, as Christian people, we have to give a listening ears to the people that is having that kind of problem, like they are addicted. They cannot go without it. They have to just be on this thing like it is. That God is like that God just make this thing for them. No, it's not that way. We who have sense now, we need to encourage them to come out of it. Yes, you will come out of it, definitely, by explaining each thing, each way to them. We know how, and all we have to do is to use that God-given talent that God gives to us as men to satisfy them in the right and proper way. That's why they call the thing foreplay. You play as long as you want to play. Eat as long as you want to eat. Drink. You hear what my father used to say? Go up Zion Hill, eat Zion fruit, drink Zion juice. Why do you think he said that? He's eating the fruit and he's drinking the juice. Nothing is wrong with that. Okay.
Eat Zion fruit, drink Zion juice. I know about the Zion juice part that all, but what I'm saying is a lot of things contribute to sex toys coming into play. Yes, it's a big money-making industry, but it's not money-making that bring it into play. You hear what that person says she start from? Toothbrush. All of that. I know a young lady that talked to me and tell me when she started with her deodorant cover, the deodorant bottle, all of these things. Just before Minister Fiona comes again, anything that is an addiction other than being addicted to righteousness, holiness, godliness is more than just a sin. It moved to a different level. A lot of people think that you only have demons that put sickness on you, or fear on you, or cause you to lie, or cause you to steal, spirit that influence you to do these things. But you also have, just as you have sex toys, you have sex demons, right? Sex demon. Incubus, succubus, or whatever one name. One of them is for man and one is for a woman. Anything that you overdo is wrong. It's not good. And when one moves from demon oppression to demon possession, deliverance is the order of the day. 12-step program cannot help you. 10-step program cannot help you. New Year's resolution cannot help you. You have to go to God in sincerity and ask God for deliverance, or pray that a godly man of God or woman of God pass your way that bring about deliverance. Possession of these things that cause you to be addicted is not you feeding. You're feeding the demon. So that is why, in the natural sense of the word, without somebody being possessed, you think any human being will want to come 15 and 20 times in a day? Then dead. Because God don't design your system for that. So anytime you are not satisfied with the natural flow of lovemaking, sex, and you start craving more, look out. It moved to places where people, I know of women that give themselves to sex demon, and they will tell you of the experiences. The demon literally take off them clothes and penetrate them, and they are okay with that. Serious thing, I'm simply telling you. That is why, for those spirited Christians that have a problem with we talking so raw about it, they need to get this clause. God said to Isaiah, I send you to those who have eyes but can't see. I send you to those who have ears but can't hear. In other words, I call you to shed light in where people can't see darkness It is uncomfortable. A lot of backlash comes from it. But there is a statistics right now that is out there in the church area, and that is what caused a lot of marriages to go on par. A lot of Christian out there, a boogie down sex and road, is reality, And it's not that they're born that way. It's not that they want to. A lot of things contributed. Wife used to sex before she married. And after she married, some big bingo jars in her bed. Man turn off. He might pass some little girl out the road with some batty flask. Then call it G-string, tongue, all kind of thing. And she carry herself nice perfume, nice this. And all of them stuff there. Man get attracted to that because we go with vision. Yes? Man chat to woman, any house in the house, put her down, don't make she feel like she is wanted around her, and then him go and take off underwear. Women are not visible. She going to see you with an erection, and she not going to want it because you already killed the mind. They are the touch folk. If they are touched, they will get there. Yeah. So it's a lot of us put ourselves in these places where demonic powers now start to be at work, and we think it's just the norm. It's not just the norm. If you go out there and sex anybody mean anybody. Don't look at the character, don't check the genes, don't check the hygiene and all of that. You have a demon. If you can't be satisfied after a night of romance with your spouse, that you have to get up and to be able to sleep, you have to vibrate. It's a demon. And I'm going to tell you this about addiction. Addiction lock you into a place of fear and disgrace and shame. So you don't want to talk about it. You don't want to get rid of it. The demon will start to tell you how much people go and judge you. Let me tell you something. I never picked bone to tell Rochelle that one woman couldn't keep me in my time. I never met bone. And when they tell her, I didn't care if she want to think that every female me go around, me go and take out them clothes. I know that I tell her that I know who I am and where I'm coming from. A lot of people cannot talk about these things because it is their struggle. And the demon is saying you can't talk about it because they're going to judge you in that light. Hello? When I travel fresh, I don't want to sleep after 4 o'clock. That me know me asleep. Hello? Because if anybody is to cheat, you can't stop it. That's why good relationship is inevitable. You're not perfect. I'm not perfect. You don't like everything I do. I don't like everything you do. But if we can come to a neutral ground and discuss things to get better, that is why I will always love Alicia and Mr. Beaton relationship. This is not me on the outside looking in. I am in the business because I know them. I've been around them. Me and them spend days, weeks up and down together. So I know what she says about her husband, and what he says about her is not just talking. It is reality. A lot of people damage their relationship, and then the devil send them go take up a dildo or a false vagina, or send them into the arms of another woman or in the arms of another man, and they are trying to live in it down, or are justified that they have reason. Addiction other than righteousness, holiness, godliness, moral and values is of the devil, is a possession, and it will kill you. It will kill you. It will take you out, and not only take you out. That demon seconds in your family. You end up get pregnant. That demon already clutch on to that unborn child. So that unborn child born with it. It is called a generation curse. Some of you out there who love sex so bad, if you check your genes, you would see that your daddy couldn't be trusted, your mama couldn't be trusted, your grandma couldn't be trusted. Because as them see something move, they're gone. And they don't deal with that demon, so that demon can plague your life. You know how much Christian right now sit down, Minister Fiona, suffering with the sexual thing. But pastors too only preach Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. and no family life, no training, and telling people, let me tell you something. If God never delivered me from sex, me could not serve God today. Me could. I'm not saying to nobody I'm an angel. Me not gonna tell. And if you want things, say me out there 6 or 4 o'clock that. I'm saying to you that where I was to where I am now is God alone. And I know that I had a sex demon. I know it. Because me I get up out of one baby mother bed and she asks me, I go down the road and spend some time with a girl down the road. Yeah? Me, I roam 8 girls' yard. And when me go home, my baby mother wants sex and she want the same rev where she always a get. So if me drop the ball, me salt. So after me gonna 8 different girl yard at night time, sex, and reach home, Jerry, where I come from, you know me go check mommy at town. Liar. And she go say, boom, go in a bathroom and come out. And expect me to pop down. Hello. Addiction will destroy your family. Addiction will destroy your life. And the truth is, a lot of husband not helping the wife, and a lot of wife not helping the husband because they don't sit down and talk about these things. Wife know what satisfies her before she turn Christian and married. Husband know what satisfies him before he turn Christian and married. Let us talk. If you no cook and want me eat, tell me. Don't expect me to read your mind. You don't cook and you come tell me eat. Me no see pot pan stove. Like Minister God, never think say if you want me eat, you have to cook. Let us talk. What please you? What please me? Rather than just come, not say nothing, and when you're not pleased, you go out there to a dildo, go out there to a false vagina, go out there to a next man, go out there to a next woman. Let me tell you something. Me tell anybody any day, if I decide tomorrow, if I should cheat on Rochelle tomorrow, it's not because of sex addiction. It's not. And the truth is that giving anybody a license to sin, before me go fire falls, flutter, Minister Fiona and sin, abracadabra, and go, you alone can't hear me. Before me go buy a false vagina and a sin, me a sin anyway. Because while me I work it, me not think about a false thing, me a picture one girl. Yeah? Before me go sing the false vagina, me not just go sing with something real and then pray and ask God forgiveness. It's reality not giving anybody no ticket to sin, but we are being real people here. Nobody just get up and turn to sexual addiction, or sex toys, or another human being for pleasure because they want to. It's either a possession of devils or somebody contribute to it. So it's not to condemn nobody. It's not to, and the truth is every one of we who are a virgin had a problem in that section of life. Yeah? I know a girl I used to talk to. If me want a good night from her, I just take her on a drive and me go on the roughest road me can find to go on. When me get back home with her, I see stars. And then when you really talk to her, she will tell you, oh, our uncle raped her and never taking time. And so until if she go with a man and him don't do it like how the uncle do it, she can't reach a climax. A lot of people traumatized in the sex life. A lot of people, demons out there tormenting them in the sex life. And if you don't start talking about it, you can't get help. If you don't start being bold about it, you can't get help. And we are here to help. And that is why Minister Fiona is going to come now.
One second, sir.
And she is going to.
1 second before Minister Fiona goes on. Gail Reese is asking, one may ask, so what about a lot of Christians who like to quote the Bible saying the bed is undefiled? What will you say to them?
They take the bed is undefiled out of board. And I will go break it down to brass tacks. Because one married woman come to me already and tell me, see her husband approach her with a certain kind of sex. And when she tell him no, in quote that scripture, marriage is honorable and the bed is undefiled. God not tell you to make no man sex in your pupoli. Bati a bati. Man body, female body. A man want doing wife in our popoli, he will go do it to another next man out there. There's certain thing that God make as red flag. Right? Popoli is an exit. God wouldn't give you popoli and vagina. Hello? So a popoli is an exit. Vagina is an intake. And if you go to the plumbing shop to buy material to do your pipe at home, you're going to buy a male and a female. If you go to the electric store to buy any electric thing, you're going to buy a male and a female. All of these things is a plug-in, but where you plug it in is right. Certain demonic activity they want to move into love making and use scriptures to justify it. That man have a devil. You must pleasure yourself so far and no further. Don't cross the red lines. That's where the bed, marriage is honorable and the bed is undefiled. There is nothing in the Bible tell us you can't oral sex. But the Bible is definitely against popoli sex. It's definitely against it. Yeah? And me saying that is not giving anybody any license to go say, pastor say, we must have oral sex. Respect people believe. If a woman believe no and a man believe no, left them to them believe. The bed is still undefiled. But when the Bible said the bed is undefiled, you must not, within the barriers of love making, think it is sin to mix, to have sex and explore your partner's body within the green flags, not the red ones. I know men where will never give them wife a back shot because they say it's ungodly. I know women that will never sit up on top of our man. It's ungodly. The only sex the Bible preach about is missionary. Mama and papa. Hello? And some of these people who use this are persons who used to fling it up out there before they turn Christian. And now they want to be holier than thou. Then holier, still them a leak. It's reality speaking. So the bed is undefiled is within context. Right? That was written to the Jews. So therefore, anybody back in Israel never married and have sex. The bed was not blessed. So marriage is honorable, is the right thing to do, and it make you legal to lie down in a bed and roll from corner to corner and have sex. That's exactly what it means. It not mean go dip up in and a popoli. All of them kind of like a thing there.
Reverend Fiona, before you come on, Minister Ozzy Daniel is saying it's not just addiction, it's greed in the same pod also. A discipline that is tough to attain if not control. It is a tough discipline. So you could go ahead.
Okay, thank you so much. And just to recap a little bit, like just to backtrack a little bit, I wanted to talk a little bit about what Daddy was saying about the little girl that he saw on Facebook that was doing some having sex, well, touching herself, I mean. My friend owns a daycare, and we were talking one day, and she said to me, Reverend Fiona, there is a little girl in the daycare that she got some complaint that every time when she's supposed to take her afternoon nap, she was making funny sounds under the sheet, under the covering, and she wouldn't fall asleep, all that sort of stuff. So one day she went to investigate, and she heard a little girl making morning sounds, touching herself, moving up and down under the covers. And she called the mom and the dad in for a meeting. And she said, I think you guys are exposing this child to some kind of sexual behaviors at home, whatnot. The mom said, no, we haven't done anything of the sort. We didn't even know that she was doing this sort of thing. Now, this child, she said, was no more than 9 years old. I want to say to somebody, she said when they took the child to the pediatrician, they said that it was normal. But for us, we cannot forget that we are children of God. And like pastor said, rightly said, I couldn't have said it better myself. These things are doors for demonic influences. And we have to understand that when demons want to possess, whether it's a child, whether it's a man, whether it's a woman, it doesn't matter who it is, they will possess them. And unless you're delivered, you take it into adulthood and you take it into marriage and whatnot, unless you get deliverance. Now, this child, I believe, may have been infected or influenced, by a demon, right? The parents, the pediatrician is saying it's normal, but for us as children of God, you're looking at your 9-year-old doing things that you only experience when you're an adult, something is wrong. The next thing is, I heard Pastor talk about the succubus and the incubus demon. The incubus has to do with the men having vision that they're having sex with women. And the succubus has to do with women having vision that they're having sex with men. And he rightly said, the ultimate goal of this thing is death. It can mean death. I've been in deliverance services where we're praying for people, and some of us know that. They will say, oh, I'm not letting her go. She will never be married because she was sold to me by her mom. Or I'm not gonna, nobody else will get her but me. No man will get her. I'm not gonna release her. This is a blood covenant. This is a blood sacrifice. We have to understand that these things do exist. So if she's not gonna get a man, then there might be toys involved. It is the works of the devil. The next thing is that Pastor touched on when he talked about having sex with different women, running from one woman's house to the other house, and so on and so on. I have a friend who is a pastor, and just this week, probably 2 days ago, we were talking as well. Because from this whole sex toy came up, I've been talking to people. One of the things he said to me, he said, Fiona, I remember having sex with 7 women in one night. And he's like, I drove out on the street looking for somebody else that looked like they were easy so I could have more sex. He said, I had sex until when I ejaculate, it was air. There was no sperms left inside of me. It was just air. And I'm saying, no, that could not be real. He said, yes, I am telling you, I've experienced it so many times. Now, when you look at something like this, you cannot deny that this is demonic. This is the works of the devil. Because if you are having sex with 7 women in one night, and this cannot satisfy your sexual desires, that could not be the works of God. Definitely that's the work of the devil. So as much, he said, when he got married, his wife, he felt like, okay, this thing is not going to work because what he's accustomed to, his wife could not give him. And if he never got deliverance, because I know sometimes we skip and dance around the word, but we need to be delivered. We cannot have a healthy relationship with God. We cannot have a healthy relationship with our spouses or with God unless we are delivered. And any way we want to put it, I believe for impotency, there are medication. I honestly don't believe that toys is the answer. I believe toys is an opening door waiting to destroy us as children of God. That's my opinion.
You know, Minister Fiona, you're so right about all of this. We can be helped. Our problem as Black people is perish because of lack of knowledge, honestly speaking, right? Because I used to think, because I've never been sick where I've had hospitalized. I have never been sick where members of my body is giving way and shutting down. Thank God for that. But the other day when my blood pressure moved, for the first time in my life, I experienced some things that I never thought in my wildest dream. I not even know that pressure can affect your sex drive. I honestly never know that. Hello, you couldn't give me a plate of food with vegetable. But now I'm like a rabbit. Become young. If we take ourselves, both male and female, our body would work. If we exercise right, if we diet right, if we keep a clean hygiene, our body will work. A lot of things that we think is not demonic, it is very much demonic. They are telling you. Talk about that man who said when in climax, nothing come, been there. I remember at 20, 24 or less, doctor telling my foster mom that if I don't cut down on sex, by the time I reach 35, I'm going to be a vegetable. I'm 46. And if I should think back in the days, I supposed to have been with over some 5,000 women. And I don't mean repeated count. So definitely when I come to God, the best thing Pastor Glendon Powell did for me is when he says to me, before you do anything and go to Kingston, 1 week of fasting and prayer meeting in church from 5 a.m. in the morning until 9 in the day. 1 week, I couldn't get rid of it. And pick me up every morning. And I believe that set a stage where I can trust myself and I can step out there now and be who I am. Yeah? A lot of what you're struggling with, yes, you go to church. Yes, you speak tongues. Yes, you preach a storm. Your pastor is anointed. But you still have a demon that is plaguing you in the twilight. Because the truth is, in church in these days, pastors not casting out demons. They are counseling demons because they don't know. In the Bible, in the cemetery, the Gadarenes, that man, that demon, take him from his family. Isolate him. Why you think the devil tell you say come out of your marriage, so? Why you think the devil tell you say move from your family, so? Why you think the devil tell you say your husband not important? Why you think the devil tell you say your wife not important? Because he want to isolate you. And when he isolate you, show you everything that the enemy show you wrong in your marriage, it right. But the spiritual wickedness in high places, the powers of darkness, rulers of darkness, they hide the truth and cause you to believe a lie all the way. You really believe say your husband no love you? You really believe say your wife no love you? You really believe that the powers of darkness is at work to isolate you? And then when they isolate you, all what they want you to do is what you going to start to do. And when you catch yourself, it is too late. And it don't start with the crown of the matter. It starts from disobedience. It starts from chat back. It starts from nobody can talk to me. It starts from me married but me I live single. It starts from me can't do without you. It starts from all of this. So it's stages they are taking you to. When the devil tempts Jesus, he takes Jesus through stages. One stage turns to unto bread. The next stage is cast yourself down. The next stage, bow down and work. Stages. And if you don't have the authentic power of God in your life, or somebody that is anointed, you are going to reach to a place where not even God, you would want to help you because you'll be so entrenched. This man, when Jesus come, he recognized Jesus even before most of the disciples. He looked at Jesus and said, Jesus, thou son of David, you come to torment me before time? Pastors these days are counseling demons. Demons and them are bosom buddy, them are going to eat dinner together. Have a drink together. Come over and let us have a prayer meeting with demons and don't know. When Jesus about to cast the devils out, Jesus do two things that is important. One, what is your name? And the name tell Jesus how much of them down there. Them themselves said, we are many legions because we are many. The second thing Jesus did, not to ask that man another question, but he commanded the devils to let. You ever see Jesus pray for a demon possessed? How much pastor you know I pray for demon possessed? That's why the people can get saved, baptized, speak tongues, and still have sex down the place, still have them draw full of ties, still have all kind of things that still unruly to their husband, still unruly to them wife, still unruly in their marriage. Marriage can't succeed, marriage can't reach the place it's supposed to reach because they are not delivered. They baptize, they speak tongues, they follow the pastor, they are armor bearer, but them still not delivered. They play music, they sing, they shout, they preach, but still not delivered because pastors can't identify demon. The demon said to Jesus, put us in the swine. Why? They said it. Don't send us back to that place of torment. We are now territorial. We're taking from the mouse and we control this block. We control this family. So if I miss Jerry, I want to catch somebody for Jerry, out of Jerry lines. And if I miss them, I'm going down the lines. Don't send us back to that place. Why Jesus obeyed them and put them in the swine? Because he know that anybody gets truly in contact with him, his power is able to defeat those demons again, and again. That's why it is important for us to have an authentic relationship with God.
Yes. Amen. That is well said. So this is what's going to be happening. I'm seeing where we're going to have to come from, like have a night for the religious perspective. We know next week it's going to be for the medical doctor to be on set to talk about this. And then the week after, hopefully we'll be able to talk about it from the religious perspective. Because when we put the topic out there about a sex toy and the impact it have on relationship, just talking about that opens up a wide variety of topics and things that people deal with to arrive at where they are. And that includes everything that's been talking about. So though it may seem as if we're straying from the topic, it's all included in the topic. It's all a part of it, because someone just doesn't get up and just start doing these things and just get totally, addicted to these things. There is a reason behind it. So the religious aspect definitely has to be dealt with. And I think after the medical aspect is dealt with, that would be fine. There is like so much going on in chat. So many things has to be said. And just to remind you out there who have been listening, maybe not everything that was said you will be agreeing with tonight. And that's okay, because everyone is entitled to their opinion, to their perspective, how they see things, and also based on the research that they have done. So no, this is not a forum where we are trying to offend anyone in any way. So hopefully you do not take it as such. But this is like really, really big. There is so much more to go into. It's currently 9 minutes after 10 o'clock, and we're just going to ask for everyone to give their final view for tonight.
Well, I personally want to say there is a part 3 coming next week, and we still want this panel. Reason why we still want this panel, especially for Minister Fiona, she have been helping a lot of people, and there's a medical perspective to it that you can garnish from in order to better help somebody. We want you to know that this is something real happening. And we take church for church. We are not perverted. We are not just talking because we want a lot of views and shares. We choose to deal with situations. It was Alicia Beaton who says to me sometime last year, Pastor, you used to do a little topic thing. Bring it back. It needed. The church need an outlet and a voice Yes. And I give here, prayed about it. God give me the go ahead. And this is how we end up to it. Don't expect Thursday night a topic to be like Jumpstart or Sunday morning service. We deal with real issues because we have a topic coming up in the pipeline. Homosexuality in the church. It there. You know much batty boy pastor around pulpit. Hello? It there. So we are dealing with issues, right? So that's my take. Next week, we're having the medical side of it. And Pastor Johnson is going to weigh in on the spiritual, deeper on the spiritual implications. And we're going to start help somebody. What we are going to be doing, Minister Gordon, one of the Thursday night when we close in this topic, I personally going to be on a whole day fast leading into that night, right? So that night when we close in this topic, we can be praying for those folks that really want to be delivered, that really want to mend their life, that really want to get rid of this. I personally going to do that. So if you take a part 3, a part 4, a part 5, a part 6 to get there, we are going to do it. But at the end of it, we are going to be on, I'm going to be on all day prayer and fasting. Because when we come together and set, we will be praying for deliverance because we need that outlet. So continue to pray for us at Thursday night at Topic Live. Continue to watch us. It's not every time we go and come with something out of the sex catalog because there are issues out there when not attached to sex, but we deal with real issues. All right? Yeah.
Yes, and what just came to my thought as well is that if you have something out there that's burning that you'd like us to talk about, please message me. That's okay. If any topic at all that you want us to talk about, just submit it and then we will see how we deal with them, because sometimes people are going through something and they don't have the courage to talk to someone about it. But it being spoken about openly like this, they can garner, lots of knowledge from it and see how to deal with these situations. So please message me, that's fine, and let us know what topic you'd also like to hear as well. So Father, I know you're in England and it's the wee hours of the morning. You must want to sleep by now. You could go ahead so that you could get to sign off. Go ahead and say your final point.
Beloved, now are we sons of God, and it does not yet appear what we shall be. But we know when he shall appear, we shall be like him, for we shall see him as he is. Sometimes it takes a long road and it's some hard trials and pushing through a lot of things to become that sons of God. Yes, we can have a lot of hang-ups, but if we hold on and be steadfast in the things that are God, when we get to the deliverance time, we'll be able to deliver up these things that need to be delivered up in our lives. And then we can move on and have a fresh start, not only for myself, but for everyone that needs a fresh start. So I am glad that I was in here tonight. I am excited to hear what's going to happen for next week, God spare our lives. So have a wonderful night, everyone, on Jumpstart and on Thursday night at Topic Live. Thanks for having me to be a part of it.
All right. Reverend Fiona, go ahead.
Yes, I am excited. Just as Daddy said, I'm very, 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 very excited. I'm glad that we journeyed together tonight and that we have come to the end of tonight, but not the end of the program. So I'm very excited for next week and what is about to be done and said. So I just want to say, have yourself a great night. God bless you, and I will see you next week.
Sister Alicia, thank you, Rev.
Thank God I wasn't first, CC. you're getting back my trust. Put it that way. It was a pleasure being here with everyone, and a pleasure being here with Facebook, YouTube tonight. I know that even if we haven't reached to the world, somebody out there heard what we had to say tonight, and it, you know what, it helped. Even if it's one person, that if we help that one person tonight, I am happy that we could have this conversation live tonight. It's very important. And for anybody out there, if you're troubling with any addiction, it doesn't matter what type of addiction, and you want somebody to talk to, just reach out. You know, Facebook, you have Sister Althea, Miss Fiona, Pastor Journal, myself, just message us in our messenger. We don't know you, you don't know us. Who else to talk to but a stranger, and get some answers? Maybe the answer lies within somebody that you don't know in a personal way. So just reach out to any one of us if you need help. It doesn't matter what type of addiction. An addiction is an addiction. So I'm looking forward to helping somebody. And I know Pastor is looking forward to help a lot of people, because these topics are dear to him. So thank you once again for tuning in to us tonight.
All right.
Maureen Sutherland. I sit here tonight and I just a while ago just feel led to Sister Maureen Sutherland. Join us on Jumpstart in the morning. And there are some of you that are here tonight. I really want you to join us on Jumpstart tomorrow morning. There's some people that we really have to pray for and with, that tonight drag them back down to a place. And time is way gone. Join us in Jumpstart tomorrow at 6 o'clock. And we just believe God on your behalf.
All right. All right. Thank you so very much. And once again, thank you to each and every one of our panel member who, took the time to be here tonight. Yes, it's, like we said before, it's a hard thing to talk about, but this week was easier than last week, wasn't it? Yeah. Great. So, great having each and every one who was on chat. I'm telling you, I could hardly keep up with it. I was trying to, just do a thumbs up to the names that I see who were coming in once we had completed the initial calling off the roll call. And I tried to give a thumbs up, but if I miss you, I did not mean to do that. Thank you for joining us. There are some people who are here from the start to the finish. We do appreciate you being here. Those of you who are in the background, we thank you for, listening in as well. Yes, my dad, he's saying good night in chat. Good night. And thank you, Daddy, for being here. My Daddy Turbo. Yes, God bless you. God bless each and every one of you. We will continue with Hot Topic Live, under this topic for who knows. We'll see when we will stop, but we'll be here next week, God's willing, and to carry on with this. Once again, on behalf of Mr. George Redeem and the team, we do appreciate you. We thank you for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you in the weeks to come. It is an maybe epidemic even in the church. And yes, someone has to talk about it. Have yourself a very good night and see you on Jumpstart tomorrow, Jumpstart family. Blessings to all.